Hello, investors. It's Connor Bates, Associate Portfolio Manager with Revere Asset Management. Today is Friday, January 23rd, 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time. Come to tonight's Revere Roundup Daily Market Insight video. Market state, we are still in an uptrend. If take a look, try and gauge over here. Market leaders in grow mode with that yellow sub arrow. Again, we mentioned it, kind of a stock pickers market. Rotation is quite fierce, so you know, being early helps. And because, one day a sector's up, the next day a sector's down. So it has been rather choppy. But all in all, there's still been some great trends. We've been finding great traction in the portfolio as well. Short term, all major indexes are above the 21 EMA, 50 SMA, and long term 200 SMA. What happened today? Well, metals are going parabolic again today. Silver, gold, platinum, palladium, all up quite big again today. And again, a lot of people keep trying to short these things and they just keep going higher. And that's, we are just trailing the positions at this point. Pretty insane move to say the least. And they just continue to go higher, obviously expecting pullback here, but again, never know how high these things can go. The dollar was quite weak, looking to potentially break down, and then index is flat today. But as you can see, big relative strength in the big eight. And that again has been an area of the market that's been lagging quite a bit. You had Microsoft getting quite a nice bounce today. You had Amazon, Meta, three strong days up in a row heading into earnings. Tesla's coming back around. So, um, on the screen, you see the Big Eight up 1.38%, and then you see the Russ 2000 down 1.85%. And what you're seeing here is rotation. And, to start the year, the small caps have been crushing S&P 500 and the Qs, and it's a, historic stretch, like one of the biggest periods of outperformance in 30 years. And obviously, today was kind of a reversion to the mean. Can it continue? Yes, of course. We don't know. But kind of first day of seeing, big tech Mag 7 really outperform small caps. And, Qs were up 0.32%, equate up 0.14. Mid caps are down 1%. RG8 was down 1.15, and then the S&P 500 flat on the day again catches that rotation as we talk about. 60/40 stock and bond up 0.16%, GROTECTION down 0.30%, TurboTaxion down 1.44% on the day. Let's get into the inter-asset correlation and S&P 500. As you can see, getting pretty tight, closed 2 points above yesterday's close. So again, 69.20 is kind of an important spot to get above. But structure still looks bullish, but again, looks like we're gearing for a move. When you look at this chart, really hasn't done anything for months now in terms of, right, you have these little rallies come back in, 3 days up, all the way down, little push up, all the way back, now trying to push up. So see if we can start to get some more direction. It's definitely been choppy on the index level. RSP, like I said, big tech got the bid today, so this was just pulling back slightly, still looks constructive. The Q's up 0.32%, maybe still watching this VCP base. If this can break out, structure still looks good as long as it continues to, hold these levels. Again, looks like it's gearing up for a move. Mag 7, 3 days of nice outperformance, up another 1% today. See that RS line's trying to get back above the 21 moving average. But, in these ranges, where has the edge been? It's been buying support and selling resistance. So we'll see until it can break out and pick a direction. Dow Jones pulling back a little bit as well. Just kind of got a range here. Mid caps pulling back also again looks great. This pullback could potentially be an opportunity to the 21 to this upper trend line. Russ 2000, same boat here. Really normal action after a very clean, strong linear move up. Arc getting super tight, kind of a launch pad setup with these moving averages. Been talking about this down, kind of a triangle wedge pattern. So see, is it going to break down, break up? We'll see. FFTY, strong action here for the leaders. VIX popping up a little bit, but again, as long as it's below 18, nothing to complain about. Dollar. Now, this is, pretty can be worrisome. This is potentially heading for another leg lower. You know, it had this big move down, and then it's been spending months in this consolidation, and now it looks like it's breaking down. Rejected the 200-day moving average. Let's zoom out on this chart. And again, it looks like a pretty textbook bear flag. And if you look at the monthly, you can kind of say, right, that we're talking like a, decade plus trend line that it's found support at going back to 2008 here, and now it's on the verge of breaking that. So again, something to watch. And one thing, dollar was down, and you can see that the yen was up quite a bit. You can see big day on big volume, but again, just something to watch. The dollar really starts to get weak. That could, see some fear in the markets. Gold. Precious metals, man, they are unstoppable. Another higher high today. And again, they are extended. We're just trailing our position. So really nothing much to say other than not in a viable position. We would never short these. And with our remaining long positions, they've been sold into strength quite a bit. And now we're just trailing using the moving average of choice. GDX, same thing, new highs. Silver, again, it's just unbelievable. And this is what you can see when you get a multi-decade base breakout and just, you know, insane moves. Silver is the most extended from the 200-day moving average that it's ever been in history, currently 120% above. Bitcoin looks like a bear flag. Again, this is in stage four, super weak. Every pop sold. Bonds coming back up, TLT rates pulling back. All right, let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Let's see. Got a couple things. Intel earnings today. This is what was dragging Turbo today. They got hit pretty hard, was down about 17% on the day, and that dragged some semiconductors down as well. I'm looking, Rambus was down 8%, ALAB was down almost 4, Avgo, Credo all weak, but AMD was strong, TSM, NVIDIA, AMAT. So see if Intel can hold that top of the base. Got the University of Michigan consumer sentiment data, 56.4, and then also the services PMI. Today's keys, S&P holding above all those relevant moving averages, same with the Qs, and then Russell just rejecting all-time highs. Gonna be watching the same things going into next week. Kind of, up three, consolidation three, just kind of, in that just kind of moving around here. 2 days above the 8 EMA, 2 days above the 21 EMA. Sectors wise, WGMI, this is Bitcoin miners. The whole group was quite strong today. You had Wolf up 10%, you had APLD up almost 9, you had Iron up 8.5, you had Hut up 5.5, you had WGMI, which was up almost 5%, Galaxy up 3. So that group was quite strong today. REMX, rare earth metals, super strong. We own this in TurboTaction, but ALB, SGML continue to be quite strong. Bitcoin popping a little bit, then silver, gold, uranium, builders, tech. Weakness, regional banks, biotech, home builders, and semiconductors. And as you can see, um, kind of regional banks and home builders and IWM all kind of go in the same basket, kind of the cyclical trade. And when IWM pulls back, those tend to do as well. And again, like I just mentioned, the divergence got extreme and seeing some reversion to the mean for these different sectors. GROTECTION today sold IONQ, RVAB 1.54 minus 5.63% estimated balance at risk. TurboTaction sold SEI 1.83 RVAB, estimated balance at risk minus 6.27. Bottom line, metals going parabolic, big tech trying to bounce, and a flat close. Let's get back. GROTECTION sold IONQ. Looked like it was emerging out, came back in. The whole group was weak. QBTS, RGTI, Qubit. You get the gist. And then TurboTaction, just fouled breakout here on SEI. Take a look at Turbo 12, or sorry, the 21 over 21 list. Solar, another new high today. Elon mentioned it at Davos, getting a nice reaction. CCJ, leader in uranium, big theme here, and they're acting quite well. Another big multi decade breakout. MP rare earths were strong as well. Some of the smaller ones. MP is like the liquid leader, but you have TMC, CRML, USAR. So, just the whole basket up, very similar chart shapes. GDX higher, Rocket Lab was up quite nicely on the day and then just kind of reversed into the close. But, as long as this holds its 21 day, it looks fine. ALB, like I mentioned, in REMX, another new high today, great strength. Memory stocks, Micron up again today, but was the only green one in the group. SanDisk was down, Western Digital, Seagate, Pure Storage. TPR sitting right at 21 EMA. Boeing fits this aerospace and defense theme, breaking out of the space, big theme, big estimates moving forward. Valero, oils continue to be strong. Teradyne flagging at the highs. Sienna optics were weak today as well. AAOI down 6.5, Lumentum down 4.5, Coherent down 3. So Sienna following suit with the group. FTAI, probably one of the most amazing stocks in the market after one of the best breakouts I've seen in a while, just vertical riding the AEMA higher. BE, really like the action here, right? Potentially looking at a handle to form. Love the name, love the story. We traded it back here in Turbo. We had this at 40 and obviously sold into strength before this pullback from 147 to 75. GROTECTION owns this. TurboTection, we're looking to get back involved. APH, as long as this holds above this double bottom base pivot, looks good. Carvana, unstoppable. Cup and handle base here. LUV sitting at 21 day, a rocket, pretty volatile, choppy stock. Both portfolios sold this week. Still looks all right, but it's choppy. Coherent bounce off the 21. IONQ going to be taken off the list, and then SanDisk pulling back. But again, continues to ride the AEMA higher, and I call SanDisk kind of the canary in the coal mine of momentum. This starts to crack, then that could it is like the momentum fundamental liquid leader of the market right now. So if this does start to crack, that could spill over into other high beta momentum. But for now, just continues to trend the AEMA higher and similar to silver, it's owned in both portfolios. Nothing to do here other than kind of trail. It's extended. So just be interesting to watch how it acts from here. Hut, nice undercut and reclaim of the top of the base. Fits the theme with the miners. Strong today. Planet Labs, space bouncing across the board today. Good action, looks good. We own this. REMX, another new high today. Really beautiful move, up another 3% today. SQM in this as well, another new high. Baidu, China, continues to be a place that I like a lot, holding at the highs. TSEM held this structure, bounced up the 21 EMA, fell in C, ascending base-ish, but pretty choppy stock. LEU, see if this can hold, kind of must hold area here. 300 level, 21 EMA. Kratos defense after this super strong moves now pulling back to the 21 EMA. So perhaps this handles out, got pretty extended. Figure another one that got pretty extended, starting to pull back, form a handle. ONDS handling out as well after strong move up. EOSC kind of doing the same thing. So from some of these high beta names, you can see a similar chart theme going on. And then one thing that I wanted to mention is emerging markets. ILF, this is Latin America 40, and this is breaking out from a 18-year downtrend line. Yes, 18 years, which is crazy. And you can see the relative strength, and then EEM, which I covered before, right? This is like an 18-year base. And what's leading year to date? South Korea, this is kind of a AI trade with memory, but right, EWY is quite strong. Brazil, the CIB is another Latin American name. So just something to watch. And that's again why liking China, owned Bob in the TurboTaxion portfolio, pulling back, but starting to flag out here. Looks quite constructive. And then let's take a look at the big tech. Microsoft getting quite a nice day today, up 3.5%. Netflix trying to bounce. Amazon looking good, three strong up days in a row. See if it reclaimed 240. Meta, 3 days up in a row, nicely. Nvidia looking to reclaim all the moving averages, big base, downtrend line here. Tesla reclaiming the moving average is Apple, rather weak, and then Google has been the leader in big tech. So, and again, some of the OpenAI complex, Oracle still pretty bidless. CoreWeave looks a little bit better, trying to round out in this base. So, like we said, uh, you know, stock pickers market and some things aren't trending nicely, whereas other things are. And again, just kind of being selective, focusing on the best merchandise in the best groups. But looking at wrapping up with the S&P 500, this chart is pretty coiled up. So expectation is to see a directional move next week. And again, ready for both sides, right? You know, looks good for a breakout, but also be on the watch. These moving averages are getting quite coiled. So if it does start to roll over, know your levels of support and risk. So that is going to wrap it. As always, like to hear from you. My email is connor@revereasset.com. You can reach out to me on Twitter at ConnorJBates_. Phone is 855 Real Wealth, 855-732-5932. And if you're ever interested in becoming a client, as always, please reach out. Thank you guys for watching. If you like the video, give a like, subscribe, share, comment, and we will see you next week.